to the Do-It-Yourself Hot Chocolate Bomb program. What you should have received from the library when you registered is this bag with 3 molds in it and your instruction sheet. What you need to collect from around your home is plastic wrap, a cake pan, some hot cocoa mix, mini marshmallows, sprinkles, chocolate chips, and a bowl to melt them in with a spoon. I have mini chocolate chips, but you can have regular size chocolate chips. You can use white chocolate chips, whatever you prefer. First thing we want to do is take out our molds. Some of them are together. You unscrew them and we're going to go wash them. So let's go do that now. Great. So now our molds are nice and clean, and you'll notice some of them have holes in them and some of them don't. These are not food safe. So what we need to do to fix that is line them with plastic wrap. So you're going to take a piece of plastic wrap, not too big. Then you're going to lay it gently over the sphere, poke your hole into the bottom, and then press the rest of the plastic wrap around the edges. And the smoother you get that plastic wrap, the smoother and shinier your chocolate bomb will actually end up looking. Okay, so you can watch me do another one. Take out a piece. Watch your fingers on the razor there. Poke your hole in the bottom, and you don't want any air holes in there, so you're just going to press your thumbs all the way around the edges and tuck the rest of the plastic wrap under the sphere. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that with the rest of these. Okay, now that you've got all of your molds lined with plastic wrap, you can stand them up in your cake pan. You can use a dish as well. It just needs to be freezer safe because this is going to end up in the freezer. Okay, our molds are waiting for us. Now we're going to melt our chocolate. You're going to follow the directions on the bag. I'm not going to need this whole bag of chocolate, so I'm going to put in maybe 3/4 of it. Okay, and now I'm going to microwave it for 1 minute. Okay, so this is what 1 minute in the microwave has done with our chocolate chips. And I do have the mini ones, like I said before. And the thing about chocolate chips is you can't really tell. They don't start losing their shape until you start stirring them. And then you can see that they're pretty melted, but probably not quite as melted as we need them to be. Some of them are still holding their shape. So I'm going to put this into the microwave for 15 more seconds. That's it, because you don't want to go too far with chocolate. You can burn it, and then it'll taste terrible and you can't eat it. Okay, back in the microwave for 15 seconds. Okay, another 15 seconds in the microwave, and this is what it looks like. Let's give it a stir. Okay, that looks much better. Give it a good stir. We want to break down all those shapes, and we want it to look smooth. Okay, that looks great. Okay, here we go. We're gonna line our molds. And the idea is to make a shell. You don't want to fill it up with chocolate. You just want to make a shell. But you are going to end up joining these two pieces together. So you need your chocolate to go to the very edge without going over. So what works for me is I take a spoon, I plop it in there, and then I start using the back of the spoon up against the edge of the sphere. And I just push the chocolate right up against it. Okay, and I go right up to the edge. You can see that my plastic is moving a little bit. That's okay. Okay. You might be able to hear my dog Teddy. He's right here, waiting for something to drop, getting very excited about these. Okay, so that's what one looks like. Put it right back in here. You want it to stay upright. Take another scoop. That might be a little too much. Spoon it right in there, and then take the back and press it right up against the sides and right up to the very edge. I even drag my spoon around the top of the edge. Now look inside there. There's no holes, because if you have holes, that's where your hot cocoa is going to leak out of, okay? But there's also plenty of room in there for me to put hot cocoa and marshmallows once these dry. Okay, we'll just keep going. I'll do another one. Okay, right up to the edges again. No holes, we're good. Okay, it's a little messy over here. That's not a problem at all. I'll do one more for you. Okay. Right up to the edges. Okay. And we sit them right in here, okay? So I'm gonna do the other two. Okay, so now I have finished my 6th form. They're all standing up straight. You're just going to put this in the freezer for 20 minutes. And I just wanted to also point out that we don't want these to be too thick because we're going to want them to melt later into our mug of milk or boiling water. So you don't want it to be very thick, but you also don't want to see any holes in it. Okay, so these are going in the freezer for 20 minutes. Okay, families, while we wait for our chocolate molds to set up in the freezer, how about we enjoy a story together? This is one of my favorite winter stories called Katie and the Big Snow by Virginia Lee Burton. You can already see there's lots of snow, and that is Katie. Katie was a beautiful red crawler tractor. So these treads is what makes her a crawler. She was very big and very strong, and she could do a lot of things. So 55 horsepower at drawbar, diesel engine, 5 speeds forward, 2 speeds backwards, turns around in the same place, equipment, city shoes, country shoes. Wait a minute, what does that mean? City shoes means that these bands that make up her tires are smoother, and country shoes means that she has much deeper treads on these bands that make up her tires. Hydraulic bulldozer, what? And snowplow, that's gonna be important. And look, 55 horses, just to show you what 55 horsepower looked like. It's as if all those horses were pulling one vehicle. Katie had a bulldozer to push dirt around with. Katie also had a snowplow to plow snow with. Katie belonged to the highway department of the city of Geopolis. The highway department repaired the roads in the summer and kept them clear of snow in the winter so traffic could run in and out and around the city. This is the city of Geopolis. This is the map. And I'll point out a couple of interesting things to you here that I saw. Over here, number 23 is a chicken farm. And I thought, you know, that might be good because it's probably kind of stinky. And right here is downtown and uptown. So you don't really want to smell the chickens, right? And I don't know, let's see. What's number 14? Number 14 is over here. Oh, that's the coal. Number 15 is the lumber right here. And we have this book in the library. So if you want to take it out, you can spend more time with this map yourself. All summer, Katie worked on the roads with her bulldozer. And Katie liked to work. The harder and tougher the job, the better she liked it. Once, when the steamroller fell into the pond, Katie pulled it out. See, there's a chain there. The highway department was very proud of her. They used to say, nothing can stop her. When winter came, they put snowplows on the big trucks and changed Katie's bulldozer for her snowplow. There it is. But Katie was so big and strong, she had to stay at home because there was not enough snow for her to plow. See, these are all the smaller trucks. And we're used to seeing those around Long Island, aren't we? Then, early one morning, it started to drizzle. The drizzle turned into rain. The rain turned into what? Of course, snow. By noon, it was 4 inches deep. The highway department sent out the truck plows. There they go. Doo-doo-doo-doo. By afternoon, the snow was 10 inches deep. So it was 4 inches deep. Now it's 10 inches deep and still coming down. Looks like a big snow, they said at the highway department, and sent Katie out. And you can see the snow's already getting up there on her plow. A strong wind came up and drifts began to form. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 5 feet. 5 feet, that's as tall as an adult. The snow reached the first-story windows, the second-story windows, and then it stopped. One by one, the truck's snowplows broke down. The roads were blocked. No traffic could move. The schools, the stores, the factories were closed. The railroad station and airport were snowed in. The mail couldn't go through. The police couldn't protect the city. The telephone and power lines were down. There was a break in the water main. The doctor couldn't get his patient to the hospital. The fire department was helpless. Everyone and everything was stopped. But Katie, there she is. Chug, chug, chug. The city of Geopolis was covered with a thick blanket of snow. Slowly and steadily, Katie started to plow out the city. Chug, chug, chug. So she just left City Hall, and now she's coming up on the police station. And I can see the policemen. Yay, hooray, Katie's here. Help, called the chief of police. Help us to get out to protect the city. Sure, said Katie. Follow me. She's working through the whole city of Geopolis here. So Katie plowed out the center of the city. This says Main Street. Candy, movies, Geopolis Times, which is probably the newspaper, shoes, department store, hardware, drugs, bank, dentist. Help, called out the postmaster. Help us get the mail through. There he is, U.S. Post Office. Sure, said Katie. Follow me. Chug, chug, chug. So Katie plowed down to the railway station. Help, help, called out the telephone company and the electric company. The poles are down somewhere in East Geopolis. Follow me, said Katie. There she goes. There's the electric company. There's the telephone company. So Katie plowed out the roads to East Geopolis. Help, called out the superintendent of the water department. That's over here. There's a break in the water main somewhere in North Geopolis. Follow me, said Katie. She went down all these roads. Oh, there are the guys fixing the telephone poles. And there's the guys with the lumber. Oh, there's all these people are being helped by Katie. There she is. Chug, chug, chug. And she plowed out the roads to North Geopolis. Help! Emergency! Called out the doctor. There he is. Help me get this patient to the hospital way out in West Geopolis. Sure, said Katie. Follow me. And we keep talking about these different directions. Here's a compass rose. This is pointing north, south, west, east. And a quick way to remember where west and where east go is it spells we. West, east, north, south. So Katie plowed out the roads to the hospital. There it is. Help, 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 called out the fire chief. There's the fire department. There's a 3-alarm fire way out in South Geopolis. Follow me, said Katie. So there's the hospital, and whoop, she made her way through all these roads. And all these people are following her. She's getting to the fire department. So Katie plowed out the roads to the fire in South Geopolis. There it is. On the way back, a plane signaled for help. The airport was snowed in. Katie was beginning to get a little tired, but she wouldn't stop. Not Katie. Chug, chug, chug. She hurried over to the airport and plowed out the runways so the airplane could land safely. Thank goodness, nice and safe. Then, after she had found the broken down truck plows, she started home. There they are, all her smaller friends. The fire department had put out the fire. The doctor had saved his patient. The water department had repaired the main. The telephone and electricity were on. The mail could go through, and the police could protect the city, thanks to what Katie did. And there's the whole city of Geopolis all plowed out. And what's about to meet in the middle are two trains. And they have special cars on them with snowplows too. And once they meet each other, the trains will be clear as well. Katie finished up the side streets so traffic could move in and out and around the city. Then she went home to rest. Whew. Then, and only then, did Katie stop. Chug, chug, chug. There they are, welcoming her back with open arms. Hooray, Katie, and thank you. The end. Okay, folks, let's go get our chocolate forms out of the freezer. Okay, here are our chocolate molds fresh from the freezer. What you're gonna do now is unwrap them. So you're taking the plastic wrap gently, lifting it, and so you're lifting the chocolate mold right out of the plastic mold. Then you're gonna gently take this plastic wrap off. Great. Okay, so we're gonna take our 1/2 of our chocolate bomb and put it on a plate. And keep going with the other 5. Wonderful. So there's imperfections here, okay? That is totally fine because we're gonna work on these seams. And it looks like, oh no, that's just something shiny. I thought it might have been a hole. All right, let's keep going. So this is what I meant where if you keep that plastic as smooth as possible, your chocolate will end up looking as smooth as possible because it takes on the wrinkles of the saran wrap in the mold. Okay, and you don't want to handle it too long, right? Because then it starts melting on your warm hands. It likes to get folded up in those wrinkles, but no worries, just pull a little harder. So we're about to do the trickiest part of this whole endeavor, which is we're going to warm up this cake pan on the oven while it's empty, on the stove. Okay, let me get this last one out of here. Okay, so we're gonna throw away all of our plastic. We're gonna put our plastic molds in the sink, and we're gonna make sure we get all of this chocolate out of the cake pan, okay? Okay, so I just heated this cake pan on the oven right side up. Just for, it was maybe a minute on medium heat because I want this surface to be hot. Then I'm going to put 2 spheres down, okay? I'm gonna twist them on that hot surface, okay? And you can see that's melting the rim, which is great. Then I'm going to work quickly, put in a scoop of hot cocoa mix, a couple of marshmallows, and a couple of sprinkles for magic. Then I'm going to take the other half and I'm going to stick those two gooey edges together. Kind of press them together, not super hard, okay? And hold it for a few seconds. I can feel the ball is melting a little bit on my fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on this plate. Okay, then we're going to take our next two halves, put them on our warm, it's not very hot, okay? And twist them around, let them melt a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm going to throw these two on here too so they can start working for us. And I'm going to pick this one up, put in my scoop of hot chocolate mix, my marshmallows, and my sprinkles. Okay, then I take the other, make sure that it's nice and gooey on the seam. And that's why those imperfections don't matter, because they get erased. Oh boy, look at this. I gotta seal up that little area. Oh no, look, we have a hole. But it's a hole that looks like a smile. Hey, we can live with that. All right, so that's sealed up, and I'll show you a creative way to take care of that. Okay, and we have one more to go. Whoop, I gotta get that chocolate off my hands. Okay, we're gonna put in our scoop of hot cocoa. Hey, maybe someone doesn't like marshmallows. You don't have to put marshmallows in that one. You can just put sprinkles. And you put those together. Line them up. And hold them together for a minute, for, a couple seconds. Okay, now we have our 3 chocolate bombs. I'm gonna put those back in the freezer for 10 minutes, but come on back because I'll show you how to take care of that and how to add a little special touch if you're interested in that. Hey friends, so we took our plate of chocolate bombs out of the freezer. They were in there for 5 minutes, but you can do 5 to 10 minutes. You can keep them, well, once they've been in there for 5 to 10 minutes, the seal is complete. So then they get stored in a regular container at room temperature, sealed, a covered container. But let me show you how you can fix this little hole here. I have melted a little bit more chocolate. I'm just gonna put a little bit right there. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the top. And I'm gonna take some of these sprinkles and just decorate it. Okay, you could put that back in the freezer and let it set up. Okay, in the meantime, you wanna put on some water to boil so we can enjoy our hot cocoa bombs. Okay, it's the moment of truth. Get your hot water ready. This was just boiling, or you can use hot milk. And to me, these are very sweet and chocolatey enough that you don't actually need the milk also. But anyway, you take your chocolate bomb, you place it into the bottom of your mug, and then, okay, I want you guys to see how this comes apart. Okay, I'm pouring the hot water right onto the ball. You can see it's still together, still together. Oh, I see some bubbles and now I see some marshmallows. Oh, there's the other marshmallows. Now we can start to stir it. Oh, there's the rest of our marshmallows. Let's see if we see our sprinkles. You can see there's the ball starting to melt and it's starting to get more and more chocolatey looking. Oh, delicious. Okay, you're gonna have to stir this for probably a whole entire minute. It's very hot. So please make sure you're being supervised by your grown-ups. Like, my cup is very hot to the touch right now, so have some oven mitts around if you need them. Oh, the spoon's coming out cleaner. That means our chocolate ball is completely melted and all that delicious chocolate taste is going to be in our drink. Okay, everybody, enjoy your hot chocolate bombs. I hope you make them all winter and I hope they keep you cozy and warm. We'll see you at the library. Bye from Miss Laura.